Alright, well here's the trial run. Mama, I'm a real boy. I'm a real motovlogger. Look at me. Finally got the camera set up. Got the microphone in here. So hopefully this whole ride's not for just nothing. Hopefully this all works. I'm gonna go take it on a test run and see what we look like. I got like 800 freaking stop signs in this neighborhood, seriously. That'll piss the neighbors off. It's not really that bad. I can't believe it's already December 7th. Remember Pearl Harbor. And I'm seriously, like, I have an Under Armour long sleeve on, another long sleeve over that, and just a sweatshirt, and then the old cheap shift gloves, which I still need to upgrade, but I found a really good pair off Amazon, and I ended up ordering it, and when it got to me, it was the wrong size. I was a little mad about that, but I sent it back, and I asked him for the right size, and 2 months of trying to contact these people, and they finally got back to me and said, oh, we're sorry, we don't have the size that you requested. I'm just like, really, guys? So I mean, whatever, they were cheap too. They were only like 30-40 bucks, but I want to get some good ones. If any of you guys have any suggestions, of course I want the knuckle guard, so they got to be not super cheap, but I'm not looking to spend like, you know, 150 bucks either. God, these stop signs are killing me. But yeah, I'm only a couple more days away from moving out of this shithole state. Sorry if any of you are from there. Come on, really? I swear I'm probably going to turn into Snowcat, because I can literally not... Oops, a little misshift there. She's cold. I can really not stand other drivers. It's really not that bad when I'm in my truck, but when I'm on the bike, man, you see so much more shit. It's not even funny. Well, getting back to my channel, I'm actually pretty excited because the last couple days I posted a few pictures, and not necessarily my YouTube channel alone, but I mean like my Instagram, my Twitter, and they're starting to, I guess in my terms, blow up. Using them hashtags, son. If you guys haven't seen and you need a cheap mic, I heard a lot of good reviews on this, and I'll make a review on it in my next video. Nothing too detailed, just to go over what my findings were, but I saw these reviews, and I was looking everywhere for a mic, and everybody said, oh, this one sucks, don't use this one. And I did go buy the GoPro connection for the 3.5mm, so I already was one up on the game, because when I was reading these reviews, they were like, oh, you can't use their cheap adapter, it won't work. And I found this one microphone post, and they were literally, I swear, $4. And I was skeptical. I was like, $4 mic? There's no way these mics can be good. And the reviews I was reading, and actually a guy had posted a video of the different sound qualities of his $400 mic and the $4 mic, and you really couldn't. I mean, this one's not as crisp, of course. I mean, you get what you pay for. It's $4, but really they send you 3 of them, and you think you're only getting one, and nowhere on the listing do they say that they're going to give you 3 of them. So if one shits the bed, of course you have another 2 to work with. So I don't know. We'll see when I'm done with this video, because I'm kind of anxious to see what it sounds like, and whether I have this video set up correctly, because I noticed I put the mount on my helmet. You know, I'm a little I was getting a little excited. I put the mount on my helmet before my GoPro ever came in. And I think I put it a little bit too high. It is a little bit higher than I'd like it to be, but you know, little tweaking here and there. We'll get this figured out. But I'm just cruising around the neighborhood because I really got nothing else to do right now. Just doing a lot of packing, getting ready for this road trip. So I just did a Toys for Tots parade here in Chicago, and oh man, this ride was just ridiculous. 70,000 plus bikers, and I'm sure if you follow my Instagram or my Facebook, I posted a few pictures of some bikes and stuff that I saw. I didn't get too many because of course I was still waiting for my freaking GoPro to come in, so all I had was my phone. And if anybody sees, I do not have a phone mount on my bike, so unfortunately it was constant take it out of my pants, take a picture, take a video, put it back in, and trying to do this all before we move, like, to the next tier. And it was an hour and a half, the ride itself. Of course, Chicago's 49 miles from me, so when I woke up at like, what, 6 in the morning, it was, the real feel outside was 29 degrees. I was like, oh my god. Had put on so many layers, and I still had to take 3 breaks on the way down there. But anyways, like I was saying, taking these videos sucked, but it was like an hour and a half long and 20 miles, and there wasn't, you know what, for being like one of the biggest motorcycle rides in Illinois, there was really not that many people on the sidewalks and stuff checking us out. I did happen to see a guy behind me who was riding a Honda CBR 1000 RR, and he had a GoPro on the top of his helmet. Of course, it was the one that I just got rid of, the Hero Plus with LCD, because it didn't have any mic capabilities, which, man, I should have done more research, but whatever, we got it figured out. But he said, I talked to him for a little bit, he said he'd post it, and if he did, I went ahead and followed his Instagram. I believe it's like AHR and some numbers or something, I don't know, I'll figure it out. But he was a really cool guy, does a lot of rides around here in Chicago, and it sucks I didn't meet him sooner before I'm leaving. But so if he does post that video, I got permission to use it. I was driving directly in front of him, so at least I'll get some video of my ride, hopefully, if he does post it. But other than that, it's been a pretty chill winter, man. I can literally not complain. I know a lot of other motovloggers that put their bikes up for the winter, which is such a sad day to see that, because if you live in a place like this, like last year and the year before, our winters are like 9 months long. It's ridiculous. So I was kind of skeptical about getting a bike in Illinois, but I knew I was going back home to Seattle, and even though they do get snow and a lot of rain, it doesn't rain near as much as people think it does. And hopefully I'm getting involved with this military motorcycle group called SBRC, if you haven't heard of them. They're a bunch of awesome guys. I met quite a few already, not face to face, but we've done a lot of talking, and they're pretty excited for me to come out, because they're a family oriented ride group, and I'm really wanting to get involved, like, with a group, just so I can meet more people, because quite frankly, me being in the military, I only meet people on my ship or on the command, and not everybody rides. And if they do, 9 times out of 10, they want to be badasses riding Harleys. Now, I don't judge anybody's bike preference. Just me, on the other hand, I like to lean into my turns, and you can't really do that with a Harley. And my wife wanted a Harley really bad. She wanted a Sportster, and I talked her into getting Celeste. And she loves it. I mean, besides her dropping it, she just needs a little more practice. But Celeste is riding good too. I mean, I haven't had no issues, other than, you know, having to replace the tires, because the last guy, like, just, I mean, he must have just drove in a straight line forever, because there was the chicken strips on these tires were ridiculous. And not only that, he had obviously had the bike sitting for entirely too long, because the front tires were dry rotted. The front tire was dry rotted. Sorry, I don't know why I pluralize that like I'm fucking driving a car. So other than that, I mean, it had what, 5,800 miles on it when I got it, and I have to laugh too because I don't know what the fuck this guy's problem was who owned this bike before, but how many of you have opened up your engine and took the heads off and shit at 5,800 miles? I mean, I was having this weird sound in this bike. Now, I'm a diesel mechanic, and it's almost the same because they're all engines, but I don't know too much about these engines, so I had this weird noise, and it sounded like one of my cylinders wasn't firing. And I mean, I was right, but when he went in there and checked it all out, this awesome bike mechanic, he told me that when he went in there, it had jumped 2 teeth on the timing chain, and I'm like, well, how the fuck did it do that? And he's telling me that he asked me if I opened up the engine at all and just got above my head, and I'm like, no. If I would have opened it, I would have figured it out. That's what I do on a normal day-to-day basis. But he told me that the cam sprockets were actually put on backwards, which isn't really that big of a deal if you still time it correctly. But it wasn't the fact that they were on backwards, it's the fact that the guy put the bolts on hand tight, and he didn't tighten them down. Now what I'm thinking is maybe he just put them on there so he didn't lose them until he was done putting something else back on, and then, you know, he forgot to tighten them up before he closed the engine back up. But like, my engine was super close to just fucking blowing up, so I was glad that he found that out. It's still kind of a bummer because it cost me almost, you know, $500 to get that figured out, but anything for Celeste. I don't give a shit. She's my baby. But yeah, so that's the only things I've really had go wrong with this. I mean, right now I need probably some new frame sliders because my wife broke off the left side. I'm thinking about actually getting a cage for her, just because my wife needs, I mean, she's a good rider, don't get me wrong, and I'm not going to diss her, but you know, we all know that if you're going into a curve and the speed limit says 20 miles an hour and you're doing 30 plus and you're in the middle of rural area, well, not rural, but you're just like, it's pretty much in the middle of nowhere. I don't know, I'm not good with my urbans and rurals, but anyways, you know there's going to be gravel, you know there's going to be leaves, it's almost winter time. I mean, but anyways, she'll get the hang of it. I mean, I'm getting an R1 right after deployment, so, and as soon as I get my R1, she's either going to keep this one. I mean, I would really hate to get rid of Celeste. I mean, I wouldn't really care if we had 3 bikes, to be honest with you. If she wants to get a Sportster or something like that, then she can do that. But I'm hoping that we get like a microphone for her, and some of those Bluetooth speakers to talk to one another, and then we can motovlog together, because I see a lot of positive response on a lot of motovloggers channels when they're doing more, you know, than one person. If you have a spouse or a significant other and they're out there with you, it's kind of cool to see. So I don't know, I really don't want to get rid of her. I like it because she's not that, you know, big, so it's a 600, it's not a 1000. I'm kind of nervous to get a 1000 because I rode my buddy's R1 and it was a beautiful bike. It's just, it felt like there was so much balls behind it, and I'm not out there like, I want to go to the track one day and start learning, but I'm not one of those type of people that just go hit the interstate at like 180 miles an hour. I'm sorry if you're following me because you like seeing that kind of stuff, but it's not my thing. The most you'll ever see is probably hitting some mountain roads when I get home. Unfortunately, my deployment's coming up and I'll be gone for 9 months, man. So it's like my motovlog days are numbered, at least for right now. It's kind of a bummer that I have to go so soon after I get to that command, but you know, duty calls. So with all that stuff going on in Syria, man, and all this ISIS stuff, I'm assuming that's exactly probably where I'm going to be going first, but I don't know that for sure, so we'll see. I'll keep y'all updated on that. But it's like 20 miles an hour through here. Whoops. Yeah, at one point I was trying to be a cop. Here in North Chicago is where I live, this little small town north of Chicago itself. I actually started volunteering with North Chicago Police Department, and I had been wanting to be a cop forever. Like, the Navy was only supposed to be a 4-year stepping stone until I turned 21, so I could actually pursue my career. But unfortunately, I got married before I was getting out the first time, and I had to re-enlist and stay in. And then when I was ready to get out again, she couldn't hack Navy life. We had been together for like off and on 10 years. She couldn't hack Navy life, and she waited till I was on a month underway down to Cali, and she aborted my kid and said peace. So I had to re-enlist again because she took everything from me. But enough of the sob stories. Fuck that bitch, right? So that's the reason I stayed in, and now it's just, I'm so financially invested into the Navy, it's really hard for me to just quit. I'm still trying to pursue my cop career, and hopefully I can let's go left here. Hopefully I can still pursue it. Ultimately I'd want to be a game warden really bad. Unless YouTube picks up, I'll do this full time. This is actually a blast. So my whole point in picking a career is to have fun. I really don't care about the money aspect. If it keeps me stable, then I'm cool with that. But I just want to have fun with it. I don't want to wake up every day and go to work and be like, man, what did I do with my life, you know? But so I was applying at North Chicago. The mayor, the police chief, all the way down to the lowest cop. I had been volunteering there for like 2 years. They're like, man, you need to put an application in. We know you want this really bad. Put an application in. So I did. As soon as they were up for hiring, I went through the written portion, and I totally smoked it. I went through the oral board, and even the day I went there, I was like super early in a suit and tie. And the first time the panel had saw me like that and how early I was, they even made a comment as they walked into the interview room. They said, man, you must really want this job. And I'm like, well, I'm thinking to myself, yeah, duh. Why would I be sitting here, right? But I guess I went through the interview like with flying colors, because they were hiring 9 right off the bat, supposedly. I mean, I don't know how much they hired for sure, but I wasn't one of them, of course, because here I am still in the Navy, right? The Navy was giving me the option to leave, no questions asked, because they were getting rid of my job, and they were telling me that I needed to change jobs or I could get out because they were overmanned. So, but I smoked the interview. They were doing the background check, and I guess I have something on my record that was there. It's just a charge. It's not a conviction, but it led to a conviction, so it's still on my record, and that's the reason they dropped me. But it sucks because there was like 55 people on this list after the interview. I was number like 5, and they were hiring the first 9, so I was already a shoo-in. And it would have sucked I had to stay in Illinois for at least 2 more years, but at least I've been doing what I want, you know? And with all this stuff that's came out recently, it makes me want to do it even more, just to show them that there's cops out there that, you know, I'm not going to speak for the bad ones, but there's cops out there that are just great at their job, and they want to do the right thing, but it's all these fucking bad apples, man, that ruin it for everybody else. And now the whole goddamn nation, because of media, fucking hates cops. I don't hate cops, but I don't like them fucking with me, especially when, you know, I know I'm in the wrong, but it's like you go out and you're hitting the interstate, and I said before, I'm not going to go out and do like 150 miles an hour, but fuck, I'll hit three digits easily. But that's like clean open road. I'm not going to do it in like rush hour traffic, because if anybody's seen Chicago traffic, and we can't lane split here, which sucks, but you almost need to if you can get away with it. But anyway, so yeah, that's my story. In a nutshell, just what I've been doing, what I plan on doing, and my life as a whole. So I'll get back to you guys when I'm on this road trip. It's just in a couple days. I got a couple videos coming out. Before I got my GoPro, my wife was riding with me, so we took a couple videos, or at least she did with her phone. Not too much talking in it, but I got a couple videos I'm gonna post up. not counting this one. And I will get back to you guys on the next one. Peace.